Hey everybody, welcome back to the Modern Customer Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Morgan. Today on the show, I am sharing an idea with you from Alan Murray, founder of Fortune, who talks about the modern company and what the modern Fortune 500 company sells. It's not what it used to be. Take a listen. What does the Fortune 500 sell today? According to Alan Murray, the founder of Fortune, if you go back 50 years and you look at the balance sheet of Fortune 500 companies in the 1970s, what you find is more than 80% of the value came from physical stuff. These are products that required investment to support equipment like oil in the ground or inventories on the shelves. So it makes sense that businesses focused on returns to capital and on financial returns to shareholders. But if you do that same exercise today, what you find is that more than 85% of the Fortune 500 today, it's like intangibles. It's intellectual property, software, and brand value. What is brand value? Oh my gosh, it's the emotional connection that a brand has with its customers. These intangibles are much less physical, and they are much less dependent on financial capital and more dependent on people, on human emotion, human ingenuity. Ingenuity is the creative and resourceful capacity of human beings to come up with innovative solutions, ideas, and inventions to address challenges and improve various aspects of life. So now there is a trend among businesses to focus less on selling physical products and more on providing services, experience, and software. Thanks to the digital explosion of the 2000s, almost everything about what business sells today has changed or been impacted in some way. Companies today focus more on selling access to platforms or ecosystems rather than individual products. Some examples, Apple sells hardware like iPhones and MacBooks, but a lot of its revenue comes from ecosystem of services like the App Store, iCloud, Apple Music, and Apple TV. For example, companies like Google, Meta, and other financial institutions primarily deal in services, data, and digital products rather than physical goods. So businesses are operating in a world today where increasingly the products being sold are not physical products at all. One of the intangibles is the relationship the customer has with the brand. So what does all of this mean? That increasingly for the Fortune 500, the experience is the product. The product is not actually a thing you can see on the shelf. It's an intangible. It's ideas, it's relationships, it's customer loyalty, it's brand. That's good news for customer experience because the Fortune 500 has changed so much. The average lifespan of a US S&P 500 company has fallen 80% in the last 80 years, and 76% of UK FTSE companies have disappeared in the last 30 years. Experience is the product, people. We have to remember that. And if we remember that, then we're excited to invest in all things customer relationships.